Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to like spam cities and say need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon. You don't want to do that.
They tell me keep it simple, I tell them take it slow. I feed them water and ideas so I let it grow. I tell them take it easy, they laugh and tell me no. It's cool but I don't see them laughing at my money though. They spitting facts at me, I'm spitting tracks, catch me. I'm spinning gold on my records, no you can't combat me. They tell me Jesus walks, I tell them money.
This is the only time in World of Warcraft history where a large portion of players knew what they wanted and they got it.
Personally, I love chocolate. And I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my all-time favorite dessert. But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
In this video, we're going to talk about how World of Warcraft got ruined, supposedly, by the game developers. It is November 23 in 2004, the following of a huge success of the first 3 Warcraft games was going to be dropped onto the public, a game that changed the landscape of MMOs forever.
World of Warcraft, baby! Yeah!
There's a bunch of noobs here, I can see
My
them.
nipples are all hard and I'm gonna pwn noobs.
A game that took your virginity and kept it away somewhere safe.
You are not prepared.
A game that for many of us hold a nostalgic value that will never ever go away. WoW rapidly, not to say instantly, broke shattering sales records. World of Warcraft also broke peak concurrency and account creation records for a MMORPG. Within the first day, over 200,000 players created World of Warcraft accounts. By 5 p.m. Pacific time, over 100,000 players were actually playing the game concurrently. These 2 record-breaking numbers made World of Warcraft the fastest and growing MMORPG in history.
Teenager hooked on violent computer games. He's playing them an incredible 16 hours a day, and his addiction is tearing the family apart.
It's a world of fantasy and fun.
I'm addicted to the game, but I'm not fully addicted. Like, I can quit whenever I want. Oh, now I'm gonna kill you all. Oh, you took my kill. I don't know why. I just eventually got addicted to it.
By the end of the Thanksgiving weekend, more than 40 additional servers were deployed to meet the rapidly growing player base. As the number of new accounts and concurrent users continued to grow, the team took a quick and fast countermeasure to provide a home for the new incoming players.
Hot diggity dog! This place is magnificent.
It's safe to say that this was a golden era, a development team that worked together to provide their audience.
If someone doesn't play WoW, what do you say to convince them?
I really didn't have to say much. I got him into WoW. I got like 7 of my friends into WoW. My ex-girlfriend, I got an ex-girlfriend.
The best gameplay, best story, the best theme park MMORPG. Months came by and players were happy. On January 16, 2007, the Burning Crusade is the first expansion set for World of Warcraft, selling nearly 2.4 million copies on release day alone and making it, at the time, the fastest selling PC game released. What the Burning Crusade added to WoW? Its main features included an increase of the level cap up to 70, the introduction of Blood Elves and the Draenei as playable races, an addition of the world of Outland, along with many new zones, dungeons, items, quests, and monsters. This expansion was truly a success, but marked the starting of a community that at all costs made the concerns known. What concerns, you ask? No changes. Here. Okay. Flying? Dude, could you believe that now? Like, the world is going to die. Now, we can't walk. We have to fly. Bro, this means that we can't appreciate the world from within anymore. I'm done with this. Stop. You probably have heard this before, and I know I have. But the truth of the matter is that no changes and these are not a thing of the present. They've always been there lurking in the shadows. Dungeons were easier, especially after Black Temple was released, since Tank could just AoE pull everything in heroics. The shrinking of 40-man raids had a huge impact on the communities back then. A lot of people didn't like flying. Reputations were easy mode, just dungeons farming. Leveling became a lot easier after the first few quests in Hellfire. Blood Elves and Draenei, believe it or not, were not accepted as races for both sides. The world bosses were gone, so there was no more big events like in Classic, where people just got together, even opposite factions, just to down those dragons for the fun of it, and then nuke each other to death. World PvP was gone. Even though the raids were awesome, they were lacking that epic feel that 40-man raid had. Wow. People went crazy about badge gear being welfare epics. And let's not forget about season gear going on honor vendors. Despite TVC being a major success, people were unsubscribing even then, with people questioning on whether or not the game had actually finally reached its peak. Dailies, they didn't come till later. Black Temple. Flying, ruining PvP, people complaining how they dumped down consumables in 2.1, it was making the game too casual, lack of content between Black Temple and Sunwell, and the argument that Hyja was actually in the game before 2.1 came out, even though it was essentially inaccessible, so it was only half a tier of a raid. This was the birth of the no changes community, where people, a very small group of people, wanted none of these changes. And this actually takes us to our next step, the birth of private servers.
Yar!
The birth of private servers already entered the scene before WoW's release. The WoW client landed on one man and one man only, Skull. Without Skull's drive to get his hands on a World of Warcraft alpha client, private servers would never be what they are today. Originally, Skull planned to hack into Blizzard with a good team, but this plan had some major flaws in it. No one is 100% sure how Skull did it, but it is believed that he made contact with Blizzard.
Let everybody see it's snowing in California. God damn it. I asked for it. I've been asking for it. I got it. It's snowing in my neighborhood. It's snowing in Cali. Southern California got some snow. And plenty of it. It's beautiful here. It's coming down. I'm an untrained meteorologist reporting on the snow. I mean, it's in the streets. God damn!
And actually got the client from them. Shortly after, the alpha copy fell into Skull's hands. This was posted in many places. After the client was out, it couldn't be stopped. It was found in torrents for the next couple of months and forced Blizzard to announce that it was working on a new MMORPG called World of Warcraft. This announcement was quickly followed by the interest of an emulator legend called Lax. Lax began to reverse engineering WoW with just a couple of packet logs. Not everything in WoW was able to be packet logged, as there was no server up for the alpha at the time. Lax created an unnamed sandbox, which would later be released by Cold Ice as a Stormcraft sandbox. The sandbox laid the groundwork for all emulators to follow. The sandbox had created a world that allowed people to explore the different unique places in World of Warcraft. It was a breakthrough which will forever be remembered. And guess what? Private servers started to gain popularity as these no changes Andes started to find them across the web. There soon after, private servers became their home, which the big irony was that private servers had an immense amount of changes, but that did not bother them. They continued to log on. Some of this player base was filled with Blizzard hatred due to the changes that ruined the game on their eyes.
What the f is this piece of shit?
While others had little to no money to spend it on the subscription, because let's be real, $15 was and still is a lot of money to pay on a monthly basis. You think that TVC was a major success? Oh boy, starting the one and only and most badass character of all time, Arthas, the Lich King. We had the new continent of Northrend, and with it a hero class. New zones, new creatures, new dungeons, new quests, new legendary items. The Wrath of the Lich King expansion was a very and well received continuation of the game because of how awaited and desired it was to finally see the Lich King in a different and refreshed angle. And all of this and more was delivered on November 13, 2008. The world couldn't be more grateful. Blizzard has dropped another banger of an expansion once again. Wrath of the Lich King was critically acclaimed, scoring a 91 out of 100 in Metacritics since its release. This expansion has often been recognized as World of Warcraft's best expansion by critics and fans. The game reached its peak in October 2010 with over 12 million subscribers, and this was massive. Now, that massive success did not really make everyone happy. For example, on September 16, 2008, MDADPH writes in the forums, "Since the Burning Crusade expansion was a colossal meh, I think a lot of people might wait to buy this for a while. Some of the neatest things are going to be released in the free 3.0 patch, if you ask me." Another customer review on July 3rd, 2010 by Jay, he goes by saying 1.0 out of 5 stars. Game sucks. World PvP dead. The fun is gone. Do you like the World PvP? Do you like to do whatever you please when you please? And most importantly, do you like to have fun in WoW? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, this game isn't for you. And then he goes to say, "I have played this game over a year with every single day thinking to myself that one day I'll find World PvP and have fun. First it was when I'd hit level 80, then it was when I'd get gear up in a painful BGs and arena. Then it was when I realized World PvP and most of all fun has been gone so long ago." And then he keeps actually going and he goes, "Blizzard has just come up with a system in which you are hooked on their game, nothing more and nothing less. You keep clicking your mouse, you keep receiving a reward through honor, arena, and a billion other tokens. Everybody is always busy. No one is ever available to do things outside of this robotic activity. I absolutely hate this game. I can't believe Blizzard is the same company that was behind the original vanilla. Every few months, you just redo the same crap. I absolutely hate their PvP system. I don't want to PvP to get gear. I want to PvP to have fun. This game should be called World of Warcraft because I feel like it is my second job outside of my 9 to 5. If I could give this game a 0, I would. I guess in the end, it is always comes to one thing: money. They care about their pet store and milking the customer for their celestial state mount and bringing back the entire purpose for why this game was created. Warcraft. The actual forums back in the day, they were actually on actual fire. For example, Bill G from United States goes to say 1.0 out of 5 stars. Oh no! Don't play WoW anymore. Got tired of them changing the tune's abilities. I have to not only learn the new locations, but how to play my tune all over again. So you see guys, all of these negative receptions are but a small percentage of what all the people that went out to the streets and complained for about the most ridiculous and outrageous things. And a huge portion of these players went and stopped subscribing, while some of them decided to try out and play on private servers. Some people still like the game but don't like the active Blizzard. There is many reasons. While I was preparing this video, I ran across many comments like Activision is a ridiculously greedy corporation that has ruined my favorite childhood FPS series and my favorite childhood RPGs into the ground, and I refuse to put anything more in their pockets. Wrath of the Lich King was the actual beginning of the end. Fast forward to present day, and expansions like Cataclysm bringing a world revamp alongside a big baddie, bigger than Arthas I would say, Legion trying to bring back class identity, BFA trying to bring back that Horde versus Alliance feeling of hatred against each other. Shadowland tried. What did even Shadowland actually tried? Okay, never mind, let's go ahead and move on to Dragonflight. I gotta say, its expansion have had a really good reception and it is going a whole lot smoother than expected. People did complain about the borrowed power, and guess what? In Dragonflight, borrowed powers are gone. And also, even though this expansion has been actually received on the positive side, people are actually still complaining. For example, people start complaining about pretty much dragon riding mount sounds ends a second before you can actually move without dismounting. Some people actually complain about how there was too many world quests, especially repeated ones. Well, in this expansion, there's not that many repeated world quests, but to be fair, there are some complaints that make sense, like why can't we have dragon riding across the world? So my whole point is that someone somewhere is always ready to complain. Dragonflight brought back talent trees. Art leveling is much friendly than in other expansions ever released, and aside from PvP being a bit too overwhelming, Dragonflight overall brought back what some of these unsatisfied Andes were talking about. I understand that Blizzard has done a much better job at killing their game than ourselves, the player base. Look, at the end, it is all the players' fault. Yes, I said it. We can't stop playing the game. The moment we all stop playing the game is the moment they will listen. And no one is ready to go beyond a couple of tweet longers or an essay in the Reddit forums. The truth of the matter is, none of this game would exist if it wasn't because of the player base. The loot boxes won't go away until you stop paying for them. At the end of the day, don't blame Blizzard, don't blame Satan, but you and yourself only have the power to change. The player has the power, not the developers. And until we all understand this deeply, they will continue to push monetization more than anything else. Until we all stop being attracted to cosmetics like flies to shit, we will keep getting more Diablo Immortal mobile games. Truth of the matter is, I found it to be very difficult to believe that deep down, we all don't know what needs to happen, but you decide not to. So stop complaining, all of you lapdogs. The game is at this stage because you allowed it to happen, nothing more, nothing less. So now suck it up and stop complaining and instead make up your mind. And if you don't like WoW, don't play it. No one is forcing you to play the game. Well boys, this is it for me. I really hope you enjoyed this vid, and as always, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button for me. I do stream on Twitch, and you can find me there by going into my channel called Rodri Max Live. Don't forget to comment below what's your take on this matter, and for now, goodbye.